It seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV. But where are those good old-fashioned references of which you don't know why? What's going on, guys? This is the Reference Guy here. First episode airing right now. We're going to start off with Family Guy references. This is exactly what this channel is about. We're going to go through every single episode of the series, and we're going to learn exactly what some of those quotes and cutaways actually mean in the real life. Episode 1 of Family Guy is Death Has a Shadow. Let's get started.
You folks want some pancakes? No, thank you. See, that's the worst we got is Jemima's Witnesses.
So we get started here at the beginning of the episode with the Griffins watching TV, which is actually the Brady Bunch. Once they're talking about how they live in a slum neighborhood, a woman comes outside of the Griffin household holding a plate of pancakes. That reference that we have there is our very first one. Yeah. It is actually a reference to Aunt Jemima's Pancakes and also a reference to Jehovah's Witnesses. They are a religious group that come to people's doors in order to try to change people into their actual cultural of a religion.
Oh, remember when you got drunk off the communion wine at church?
And so the Lord God smote poor Job with festering boils all over his body.
Oh man, I hate it when he tells this story.
Yet miraculously, Job was still able to retain his dignity. Whoa, is that really the blood of Christ? Yes. Man, that guy must have been wasted 20
So this reference here is actually a real reading in the book of the Bible. It's actually the book of Job 2-7. Job loses his health. They didn't actually make this up, people. This is actually a biblical reading. I'm surprised too. I never know Seth MacFarlane was good with the religious stuff. Apparently now there's been two things in this exact same episode to start off the series. How convenient could that be?
And then there was that time at the ice cream store.
Butter rum's my favorite.
Now this ice cream that Peter is eating is very rum, like he said. However, in the actual ingredients of it, the actual ice cream, there's only 0.7% of rum in the actual bowl of ingredients. So it doesn't make any sense that he takes one lick and he collapses. That or he's just real lightweight. Now I don't really think that he could be that much of a lightweight.
And remember you had an Irish coffee the day we went to see Philadelphia?
I got it. That's the guy from Big. Tom Hanks, that's it. Funny guy, Tom Hanks. Everything he says is a stitch.
I have AIDS.
So that reference, this is a new reference that some people might not actually know. I've learned this when I was younger, when I hung out with some of my old friends. This scene right here at the movie theater with Tom Hanks, this actual scene was in the beginning of a song from a metal band called Blue Going to Death by Suicide Silence. Check it out if you haven't heard it before. I mean, the song itself kind of, you know, if you're not really into the type of metal music like myself, don't listen to it. But I mean, at least the beginning of the song, you get a Family Guy reference, which is always cool, because Family Guy is just a hell of a show. Let's be honest here.
Dad, you guys, I promised my wife I wouldn't drink. Oh, don't feel bad, Peter. Gee, I never thought of it like that.
So the character in the pink right next to Peter here in Quagmire actually was supposed to be the real Quagmire in the actual show. Back in the pilot episode, instead of Quagmire being the one we know and love today, he was the other character. Surprising, really, but now we have the Quagmire we know and love today. And I gotta say, I'm glad that they kept it that way, because I don't know if the other guy would have stood up to his potential.
Situation we've got here, Tom.
Quite a situation we've got here, Tom. Indeed, Diane. It seems the Happy-Go-Lucky Toy Company of Quahog, Rhode Island has released several highly unsafe toy products into the retail market.
Come on, Timmy, throw the silly ball! Oh boy, a pound poochie!
Come on, baby Heimlich, spit it out.
So those toys that they put in the Happy-Go-Lucky Toys Company are actually referenced to real toys in the real world. Back in 1964, the silly ball, as they say, was actually known as the Super Ball, a ball that people would throw into a game. However, it's not supposed to be big enough to play with a baseball bat, but I'm guessing they just had to do that in order to get a joke going in with the axe being thrown into it. The second toy we saw was supposed to be a Pound Poochie. However, the Pound Poochie was a bag of pills. However, in real life, it's called the Pound Puppies, an actual toy. So really, they didn't make much of a difference, except for the fact that it was a medical health crisis in order with pills for kids to swallow, and there would be dead kids, and there would be a very big situation in the oh boy. And the final one, the final toy that we have in reference is Baby Heimlich. However, Baby Heimlich was not an actual toy that was built in the real world. They actually just used the tools that we use for training with CPR, the actual doll, baby-shaped doll that they would use, have the suction on each end where you push in order to get the CPR working. This time they actually just decided to ingest a flamethrower into his body, which was honestly kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having to play with that myself.
This week, I got fired off of that commercial. Try it again. I'm Kaka for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, damn it, take 26.
So that reference there was actually a cereal as Kaka for Cuckoo Puffs, which in reality is Cocoa Puff cereal made in real life with an actual bird like that. However, different colors, and they said it properly. But some people might not even know the stats of this cereal, as they don't really make it everywhere. Mostly I've seen it in America, sometimes in Canada for promotional reasons, but we just use Nesquik. It's the same exact thing, just as good.
And then I thought I could win some money in that talent show.
And the grand prize goes to the Von Trapp Family Singers.
Oh, that is bull.
So that reference there was actually from an old movie called The Sound of Music. There was an actual scene in the movie where they ended up into a talent show known as the Von Trapp Family Singers. They just added Peter into this in order to make a joke towards it, where the Von Trapp Family Singers actually won the competition. However, after that situation that we noticed in the clip, the Von Trapp Family Singers actually left because they were being chased by police.
That I didn't really stand up to that tank in Tiananmen Square? Screw this, I just came over to buy some fireworks.
So that reference there is actually a very cultural situation that happened way back a long time ago. Back in 1985, there were protests in Tiananmen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, sorry if I'm not. This was the Tiananmen Square, and they had lots of protests of cultural diversity. And the day after, the tanks were looking to leave, and this man here, known as the Tank Man, stood in front of the tanks, holding his hand out high, just like in the episode. I'm not sure what happened to him after the tanks were coming towards him, as I haven't looked into it that much, but I'm gonna have to assume that it didn't go so well for the guy.
You're getting kind of fat.
What?
It's not healthy.
Peter, I do my Jane Fonda workout tape 3 times a week. When was the last time you saw your toes?
Now this reference, people might not know, this is actually true. Back in 1980, Jane Fonda started her own workout videos. She actually did them for 15 years, 80 to 95. Now another known fact that people might not know, back when 2020 came along and we had started COVID with our quarantining and self-isolation at home, she actually decided to make a new video at the age of 82. I can't see myself doing that at 82. I would snap in half. That's ridiculous. She's got skill, let's be honest.
Shit, man, I thought you people were supposed to be jolly.
So that reference there is into the accordance of gingers. Now they actually looked into it more myself, and I've noticed that it was actually back in the 90s they made Jolly Gingerbread Cookies. So I'm gonna have to assume that that's the actual reference that they're going for. But back then, who knows what they could have been going for? There was a lot more cultural issues that we are dealing with now that they didn't have problems with back in the 90s that they've used. So I'm gonna have to take my word for it, people. I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Lois, you know how I always said you should be treated like a queen? Well, I got you your own jester. Hey guys, good to be here in New England. And what's the deal with New England anyway? It's over 200 years old! Last time I checked, that's...
So that guy right there, the jester that Peter got the lowest, is actually known as Jerry Seinfeld, the actual actor and comedian himself. They decided to add him in as a pop culture reference in order to make people laugh.
Well, it does keep the Black Knight at bay.
So this guy here, the Black Knight, some people might think of him as a character from the Marvel series, actually in the new movies that they just put out. However, they're talking about the one from the Arthurian Legends way back when we weren't even around. Just, you know, some kids here might not understand.
The air is electric here at Super Bowl 33 tonight. Pat, I think it's safe to say that all these fans came out here to watch a game of football.
John, we're in commercial.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation. Come on. Football!
So in actual times, back in 1999, the episode of Family Guy that we're referencing right now actually aired after the Super Bowl 33, which went between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. So they put it into the script because they knew that they were going to be airing it after that actual Super Bowl. So it was a really cool way to make a reference towards Fox because Fox did start airing Super Bowls around that time.
Not into Fox security. Go ahead. Take him down. Yes, sir.
Now, you may have noticed on the back when the bodyguard grabbed the gun, there was a sign on the back that said just one gun. And the characters had Fox on their shirt because they were the Fox security. The actual reference to this is the fact that back in the 90s, the slogan for Fox was actually just one Fox. They decided to add it in as a reference to the company that they were using to broadcast their series.
How was your shower?
Oh, I tell you, Brian, all the rumors about dropping the soap are true.
Really?
Oh, yeah, you can't hold on to that thing to save your life. Oh, it was slipping all over the place. Guys were laughing.
Hey, there's a guy who couldn't hold on to the soap.
Oh, that was classic.
So that reference there, drop the soap. I'm sure some of you may know what this is. Of course, they didn't want to add that actual reference into the show. They made it more funny, not to make it seem so sexual, because it's actually a thing that happens in some prisons known as sexual harassment to people when they drop the soap. I'm not going to get into more detail because I'm not going to get myself into trouble when I'm just doing my first very episode on YouTube, because I'd like to keep this going.
You know the one where Arnold and Dudley get sexually molested by the guy who owns the bike shop?
All right, now I want you boys to scream real loud at my ass.
And everybody learns a valuable lesson. Mr. Griffin, have you learned a lesson? Oh, yeah, stay the hell away from that bike shop.
So that was an actual episode of Diff'rent Strokes that they aired back in the 80s. However, they didn't actually have that dialogue that they put into the cutaway. I really hope not, because it seems a little bit much for a show. But I like the reference that they're using because Seth MacFarlane did love a lot of those shows back when he was younger, and I'm glad that he was able to put them into his series that he has going on.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
Oh no!
Oh, yeah!
So that reference there, this is our last reference of this video, the Kool-Aid Man. Now I'm sure a lot of you know about him because Kool-Aid still goes on to this day. Back in 1999, they actually started doing commercials with the Kool-Aid Man, and they would actually have him go through walls. Check it out if you haven't noticed it before, but that's how they got the references. Well guys, this is the end of the references for episode 1 of Family Guy, Death Has a Shadow. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more. I would like to keep this going, and I just want to hope that I get enough fans out there. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and we'll see you guys next time.